Hi friends, Laura here, your business yoga expert, chatting with you today about how to make your teaching career sustainable. What does that mean? For me, that means being able to teach over time in a way that is nourishing to my needs and supporting the lifestyle that fits for me. So, one of the things I most often hear with yoga teachers, as well as with people in general, is they need to make more. It's more, more, more. How do I make more money? How do I get more work? How do I have more of what I want? But today I would like to flip that around and focus on keeping expenses low, simplicity. There are not a ton of things that we actually need, especially for teaching. But there are lots of auxiliary expenses that people, or that we may convince ourselves that we need, like a $150 pair of yoga pants or fancy essential oils for our classes. Now, it's not to say that enjoying things or having extras are out of your reach or discouraged. However, if you take an honest assessment of how you are spending your energy and your money, there are usually quite a few places where we could cut back to help reduce the stress of thinking we need more. So getting organized with your expenses, learning how to budget, and then also comparing that with your income and making your expenses fit with your income. For some of us, that might mean simply looking at our income and our expenses. Some people don't want to look at that. They just pretend, okay, as long as I can't see it, it's not an issue. So you can start with looking at it. And then maybe you already have a budget, or maybe you already have a very clear idea of what your income is. And additionally, you can start monitoring how you are spending your expenses or your income. And additionally, you can start monitoring your income and your expenses to make sure that you are fully aware and that they work well with each other. And if they don't, which is totally fine, adjusting them in ways to make sure that they do. Second of all, do what you love. When we do work that we don't enjoy or that we find out of alignment with our values, it's especially draining. So there are so many opportunities for you to teach what lights you up, what you want to learn, what you want to practice. So find that and keep creating that work that lights you up. Keep creating that work that brings you joy and that helps refuel you, even though it does take energy. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't have to do parts of the job that you don't like. Perhaps, like me, you don't like the computer part or you don't like the accounting part. It doesn't mean you can ignore these things. But what it does mean is that you want to spend time on the work that you do love, or even things that aren't work that you love. So don't give all of your energy just to work. Make time each day to be with your puppies or to take a walk in nature or whatever refuels you so that you can sustain your energy levels. And last but definitely not least is balance. Again, this can look very different for all of us. However, the number one thing I found when interviewing teachers, the number one issue they had was burnout, which to me is the opposite of sustainability. So taking on too much, trying to do too much because you think you don't have enough and because you want more, or because you feel afraid. So here is where we need to figure out what our balance is. Now, that can change. For example, I used to teach 12 classes a week. That was my good balance. And I really enjoyed that. That was enough for me to prepare good classes, continue my personal practice, and have time for the other things in life that I enjoy and that I need to take care of. However, after some car accidents, my ability to teach changed, and my ability to teach 12 classes absolutely decreased. So for example, 12 classes a week used to be my sweet spot. For me, that was full-time, and it gave me enough energy to plan, to maintain my personal practice, to keep learning, and to teach really great classes. After a few car accidents, my capacity changed, and it took some time to adjust. But once I realized that my capacity was not the same, I had a choice. I could keep trying to force what wasn't working, or I could adapt and be willing to be flexible and change how I was doing things. So to prevent burnout, it's really important to figure out what balance works for you. And remember that balance is an ever-changing thing. So we need to be balanced in our willingness to adapt as our needs change. I hope these 3 tips help you create more sustainability in your practice. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Namaste.